everybody. We are back once again with another live session, as we are every Tuesday at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. My name is Mark Stark. I'm the owner, broker, and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Arizona, California, Nevada properties. Today, I am thrilled. I have our VP of Marketing, Maria Hill, with us today. And if you remember last week, well, first of all, hello, Maria.
Hi.
Hello. Beautiful, beautiful. If you remember last week, I covered listings, and showing lots of value to our sellers. And I got a slew of questions and comments, and I had already had Maria scheduled. So we talked and tweaked the presentation because I really think it is a perfect opportunity for Maria to shed even more light and give you some visuals and really take what we talked about last week, or at least sections of it, and bring some light to what we covered. You in, Maria?
I'm in. Let's go.
All right, let's go. All right. So we are going to jump right in today. And as you know, we entitled this Marketing with Maria. And today, I want to start off by, again, talking about servicing our listings and wowing our clients. And, one of the questions or comments they came up with is, when I take a listing, I want to make sure my clients feel awesome, feel my wow coming right out of the gate. So why don't you start off, Maria, and kind of talk about, you've just taken a listing, and give us some insight of what you know is important and how you can help that sales executive wow their client right from the start.
Right. Absolutely. I got to tell you, I think one of the most important things for our agents to do, or if I was an agent, for example, is just to communicate. I mean, we have so many tools, so many resources, so many things that we do when our agents take a listing. One of the things that we sometimes fail to do is to communicate all of that to our clients. And so one of the things I'd like to bring up, and I always like to tell agents to even bring on their listing appointments, is a marketing proposal. Right? It's your plan of action of what you're going to do the first 30 days of taking the listing. And I know that it's probably going to be hard to see on the screen because there is so much, and it's a 2-page report. But for all of you guys that have been using it, it's sitting on the VAC. It's obviously in a Word document. It allows our agents to actually even add more if they like, but it really does outline everything we're going to do. We tell our clients when we go on the listing appointment that we're going to give you a multi-channel approach, right? We're going to cover everything from A to Z. And what does that actually mean? And again, it sounds really cool when you say it, but do your clients really know what that means? And so that's where I like to back up everything we say with evidence, right? Give them something, a plan of action, almost like a business plan. And so you'll see the marketing proposal really is a outline of pretty much what we utilize in addition to our elite network of powerful relationships, but along with modern effective tools. And everything will be outlined exactly what we're going to do to the clients, between electronic mail, social media, digital marketing, personal outreach, communications, print and online. There's just so much. I really believe that every single time that I have put a marketing proposal in front of a client, they have been wowed. They have been very impressed. They know that everything I'm giving them is what I'm going to do for the first 30 days of taking their listing.
What's so powerful about that, and first of all, and I mean this in a positive, if you look over the marketing proposal and you as a sales executive have any questions of what's in there and some specifics, great opportunity to do some homework and understand the power of what you have in your arsenal. Because if you're going out specifically in a market like we are today and you're not clear on all the value that you're offering, well, guess what? You not only make it more difficult for you to solidify that listing, but you're minimizing the value that you're showing your clients. So again, step one is being well informed of that information, and now it outlines it step by step. It also helps organize your thoughts as you're communicating it because you have it right there. I hear this all the time from agents going, well, we've got so much, it can be overwhelming. Well,
Right.
the marketing proposal helps minimize that overwhelmness, if that's a word, because what you're really ultimately doing now is you're giving yourself that step by step organized way to present them and show them, show them what you have to offer and how you're going to get their home sold more quickly and for more.
Right. And technically, it's just a way of really restating everything you told them at the table, right, in your listing presentation, but just recapping it and really making it look organized and that you have a team in place that's going to make all of this happen for you. And that's where I go right into a few of our tools that in my way of thinking, I think they actually become like personal assistants to our agents. And one that I like to always tell is keeping our sellers in the know. Once you take a listing, there are probably about 4 different things that are must have do's that I feel that you should be doing to wow and continue wowing your agent that first 30 days. And one is going into the VAC2, right, and sending your clients a seller report. A seller report, you guys, again, is giving your clients exactly what they want to know is how many people are looking at my property. So with our new seller report in the VAC, it actually gives them the traffic on the #1 website out there, which as we all know is Zillow. And not only does it give it for Zillow, it gives it for Trulia, it gives it for your website and our company website. So I believe, again, doing the seller report is one tool that you guys can automatically put in place the moment you take a listing. The next one is AdWorks. I mean, here's your digital platform, right? Everyone's talking digital, everyone's talking online, but no one is really sharing the statistics, right, to their clients, right? So go into AdWorks and send your clients our seller reports. And you'll see up on the screen, the beautiful thing about these seller reports that it does is that it allows your clients to see how many impressions, how many eyeballs, right, are looking on Facebook and Instagram and how many clicks they're getting, even just within the first 7 days of taking the listing. Now, one of the things that Gordon Miles had us all put together, and we realize how busy you guys are, is a little bit of automation. So in the next week or two, you guys are going to hear, we are actually going to automate your AdWorks seller report. We are going to link it up with SkySlope, and we are going to grab your seller email, and we will automatically send this report to your clients because it's that important for them to see. I mean, we say we have a digital platform, but are we sharing with them the value that we bring to the table? And by sending them these seller reports, to me, that's one of the most important things to do is send these seller reports. And again, if you go right into the VAC, you guys, right on the main dashboard, we have a link that says AdWorks. You click on it, guess what? You're right on your dashboard. And you can control what your clients see with your digital platform. So that would be one of my second ones. This one right here is my all-time favorite, you guys. This is ListHub Global. Again, it's available in the VAC under marketing, and you guys can send a link, and you'll see right up on the screen, you guys, right on the top right-hand side, it says send report. And what I love about this, if you click on it, you can literally see exactly what your clients are going to see. Your property is published on 86 international portals in more than 58 countries. What I love even more, if you go down a little bit more, you guys, it shows how many potential buyers are looking at their property. 109 million. I mean, again, if we're talking about how are we going to create the buzz, how are we going to drive more buyers to look at your home, by just putting these 3 simple reports in place, you have now wowed your seller. They know you are doing everything that you promised you were going to do at the table. So to me, again, I think just putting anywhere between the seller report in action, right, as soon as you take it, the AdWorks seller report, please send that, and the ListHub Global report. Again, those are 3 reports that become personal assistants for you guys. All you have to do is go into the VAC, add the email to your client, and you can send it to yourself. So again, when they receive it, you can always call them and, hey, did you see we just went international? Look how many, portals we're on and how many countries we're in. I mean, again, it just allows that dialogue to happen so they know what you're doing. One of the things I think, one more thing I'll just touch on real quick, Mark, is our single property website. That again is something with the new VAC2, you guys, is available within hours of taking a listing. What I would love for every agent to do is when they put the listing into the MLS, within a few hours, they can go into the VAC, they can go into the Ready Promo dashboard, and they can send a link to their client so they can actually see their new property website focused on their listing. And to me, again, that is all about wowing your client on what you're doing to service their needs.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful. You know what? I love this. You're focusing on the local community, which is really important. So you're not ignoring, the buyer's opportunities for the seller around the local area, but you're also letting them know we're international. So you're hitting both. Okay. And you know what? Regardless of where the specific buyer comes from, I think it's powerful to let them know that you are global and you can handle local and you can handle national and you can handle international. So I love it.
Right. And I always like to go back to again is, your sellers don't know what they don't know. But when they do know what you're doing, it's going to make a difference and it's going to differentiate, you from the other realtors out there. Because again, a lot of people just don't tell their story. We assume our clients know what we're doing for them. And guess what? They don't. And so I think it's so important, again, with the marketing proposal, really outlining everything we're going to do. And then not only just stating what we're going to do, to actually give evidence to everything that we're going to do between international and local and online and digital and sending them those reports. I mean, to me, that's covering everything from A to Z. That's really servicing your client, right? And providing them everything that you promised at the table.
And I honestly forget who brought this up to me, but when you send out that property website to your client, you can advise them to send that out to their sphere and to their, people that they know.
Post it on their social media. Absolutely.
Right. So now you, as the agent, as well as their personal property, is going out to people that you would have never connected to. But now you've got something super professional that seller can be proud about their property and be able to send that out to, again, a new additional sphere that now know of you and know of the property.
Right. And you know what, just on top of that, like you just reminded me, sending out their website is great to the client so they can see it. But what agents are not doing enough of is retargeting. So with our AdWorks platform, you know what I mean? When they get that email or when you guys get that email and it says, congratulations, your listing is digital right now, right? And it's online. What you guys need to do is make sure you're sharing that with your client. And the reason why I tell you guys is remember the whole retargeting with AdWorks is as soon as they click on it and they check it out, guess what? That cookie drops right into their computer. So let's just say tomorrow or the next day and they're going on to Lowe's or Home Depot or Amazon and they're searching, guess what's happening? Their listing is actually showing up constantly and looking at them with your picture on it. And they're seeing all of the marketing that you're doing with our digital platform. And that to me is very, very powerful.
Yeah. And again, for you as the sales executive, you do one thing, okay, and it opens you up to, again, so many other opportunities. I want to switch gears a little bit because it's honestly one of my pet peeves, and it really goes down this retargeting road. All right, so you've got all these sales executives. They're out there busting their butt. They're being successful. They're taking listings and or working with buyers. They're doing business. What gets missed is not enough thought process around how do I leverage up my success. So I'm doing the job I'm supposed to do. How do I take my efforts that have done good? Okay, I've got things that happen, and how do I take it to the next level? I mean, even if you focus on listings, a rule of thumb is every listing that is taken should generate a minimum of 2 closings. A minimum itself and 1 additional. If it does more than that, God love you. That's awesome. That is super awesome. But a minimum of 2 itself and 1 other. So, Maria, what advice would you have along those lines? If you want to leverage up your success from the business you're already doing, any insight you could share along those lines?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, listings are your greatest assets, you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's going to generate that more business. And so one of the challenging things I feel that I run into even right now is when I see marketing orders come in, right, for a flyer or for a postcard or for something. And then the agent emails me the next day and says, oh, Marie, guess what? We got 5 offers. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and cancel that order. And I'm like, no. It's so important for them to continue marketing the home, even if it just, had so many offers or it's about to close escrow. And I'll go back into just making sure that for when you guys take a listing, right, we automatically send you guys the ready promo email. there are about 15 items that are going to generate more exposure for your listing and help you gain more listings if you just click on each and every one of them. And you'll see it on the screen. We give you a flyer. It doesn't matter if it just sold. You guys get that flyer out the door. If it's the single property website, the just listed postcards, the Instagram to Twitter, the Facebook posting, the digital property e-blast. Again, I understand that things are selling fast. But remember, when you have one listing, you have about 6 to 7 messages that you can get out there. And you can really leverage that one listing 6 times. Let's just think about it as if you were doing a just listed postcard. You can do from a just listed postcard to a do you know a buyer, to just closed, to sold, to do you meet your new neighbors. There's so many different ways of taking that one listing and leveraging it. And so what I feel that a lot of agents do is they take a listing, they may get a flyer out. They may possibly even get a postcard, but guess what? They're thinking that because it's sold, they don't need to share it on social media. And that's sort of opposite. What we want to do is we want to make sure that you're sharing it on social media, that you're doing your digital marketing plan for it. And so in addition to the ready promo, just to remind you of 15 items that you can take action on, we also still put together our listing kits for our agents. And I love this. And this was the whole reason we were providing the listing kit in the marketing department, is that when an agent took a listing, and this came with Mary Thomas out in Nevada, one of her things is Maria, I've taken 5 listings and I want to double my listings this year. But again, I'm the only person on my team. I don't have any assistants, right? And so what we put in place for her was every single time she took a listing, guess what? We generated 7 pieces for her to automatically get out the door with one listing. And that's what was creating the buzz and getting the phone to ring and having more interaction online with people. But again, we create not only your social media, right, postings, we do an e-card, we do a flyer, we do a postcard, we do your chalk digital ad. We give you no reason why you shouldn't be marketing that listing to the fullest, because again, we're hoping it's going to generate those 2 additional closings.
Yeah, that's so, that is just so powerful. And listening to you, it's so important the way you think. Just what you said earlier of, well, you know what, the property's selling so quickly, I don't have to worry about that. Think about it. The sales executive who's thinking about leveraging up their business for success, isn't going to think that way, because they want to get that marketing out there regardless if it's selling. And by the way, I think we've all learned this lesson. It's not over till it's over. So just because a property goes into escrow, my job's not over. In fact, if I'm really doing my job, I'm generating more activity for that property just in case. All right? There's nothing wrong in having a backup offer or whatever the case may be if something doesn't go exactly the way that it's supposed to go. I don't care in this market or any other market. So you have so many positive reasons to send that marketing out there, regardless if the property sells quickly. You guys spend so much time, effort, and money generating the business, to not leverage more business from your success, honestly, makes no business sense. It's got to be part of your plan of attack.
It is surprising on how many listings I've seen that our agents have taken. And I follow a lot of our agents on social media, and yet it's never hit social media. It's never hit that whole digital aspect. And that's where all the eyeballs are at. You know what I mean? It's almost staying top of mind. And so I think by not hitting social media, they're really losing out on, again, that additional exposure that they should be getting.
Yeah. I think people really got to realize the power of repetition. I've always learned there's 2 ways to learn. Emotional involvement. Remember your first listing or first presentation with a buyer, you were the flop sweat, you were nervous. So emotional involvement and repetition. And what you're missing is when you get it out to social media, everything you're doing, people are seeing you again and again and again. It's like the life of a postcard. A postcard has a life expectancy of 3 seconds, but it did its job, because there's Mark again, there's Mark again, there's Mark again. And so by you sending this information out, and now with VAC 2.0, it's a click of a button. I mean,
Right.
there's not a lot of work to do here to get that repetition out there and leveraging your scenario up. You know,
No, it's like what Larry Tate said. Larry Tate called it the McDonald effect, right? It's that branding, it's that consistency. It's like what Coca-Cola and all that stuff does. And that's the way we have to really look at branding, not only ourselves, but our listings. And I mean, if you're not doing that on a consistent basis, that's where we lose. We lose big time if we're not doing it.
I know. Maria, let me ask you this. What advice would you have? I hear sales executives will say, well, I'm not a techie. And I really think as soon as they say that, their brain shuts down and they do themselves an injustice. What advice would you have to help someone? Because most agents aren't techies. They don't have to be. Okay, what advice, if I don't want to be overwhelmed, we have all this arsenal, what advice would you give to me, a non-techie, to really be able to absorb the information, some of the information that you went over today?
Yeah, well, first, if for the people that are non-techie, I got to tell you, with Berkshire Hathaway, we partnered with Katie Lance a couple years ago, and she is just a huge social guru in the real estate industry. And to me, she breaks it down to the basic 101, right? I mean, we as realtors are so busy, we don't have time to watch a 5-minute video, let alone even a 2-minute video sometimes, right? And so if they can tap into Katie Lance, they can either follow her on Facebook, look for her on YouTube. I follow her. I watch every Wednesday. She has a quick 2-minute video, and she breaks down social media to a point where you go, God, I can do it. It's that easy. And then she explains it from a real estate standpoint. I mean, the one that she just did last Wednesday was phenomenal. The do's and the don'ts of real estate in a situation that we're going in right now with real estate, and how to be sensitive and what not to post and what to post. I watch her every Wednesday. So I always like to tell people that I believe that that's something they should be doing. When you're talking about everything that we reviewed today, one thing I have to tell them is I like to drive them to the VAC trainings that our education department's doing. Between Lorette, Mary, and Chris, they're doing a phenomenal job doing one-on-ones with you guys to really understand these reports that we talked about. Because I'll be honest with you, you don't have to be techie, but you have to use the tools that are going to make you look techie, right? So when you look at that seller report from AdWorks or the seller report that we have in the VAC, you're not having to do anything other than enter the client's email address. So if you can just take the time to go to a VAC class and learn how to put together a seller report or learn how to send out the AdWorks report, right then and there, you position yourself at a higher level to, in a sense, to be perceived that you are at that technology level without having to do much more than just add the client's email address in there.
And I want to share a concept along this line, and I call it the power of one. And what that means to me is, I don't care if we have 1,000 different tools. I want you to perceive, to say, what if we had one? What if we had a single tool? That's all we had. Okay, and your only job was to learn that one item. Let's just use, from Maria's comment, a seller report. Okay, and you needed to learn what that did, or a marketing proposal, and you wanted to fully understand that. Don't fall into the trap of, I've got to learn everything all at once. You have to take control. You know yourself better than anyone else. Choose one item, okay, and say, I'm going to walk out of here and I'm going to fully understand one thing. That's okay. You'll learn more later. The funny part is, when you try and learn too much, you don't learn anything. So pick one item and say, I'm going to ask all my questions about this. And when I walk out of here, I'm going to know how to do this one thing, and I'm going to have it as part of my arsenal. Then once you get comfortable and you really get what that does, then guess what? Move to the next one item again. Guys, if you do this and you take control of it, it starts here, and you go, no, we only have one item, and I'm going to learn one item at a time, all right? You really will learn numerous items over time, but you'll learn them one piece at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just.
Amen to that. I'm just saying, because, and you're right, because we do have so much, I think people do get bogged down. Like, there's just no way I'm going to learn all that. But if you take baby steps and you just focus on one tool, and then once you've mastered that, then go to the next, then now we're making progress altogether. But Mark, going back to what you were saying about leveraging up your listings, one thing I think that a lot of agents have been doing recently is really looking at their marketing pieces that are going out the door and making sure that they're just listed and they're just sold actually have lead capture messages on them. And what they've done is instead of doing the generic, hey, just listed, or hey, I just sold this, right? And it's sold on both sides. We've actually changed it up a little bit. A lot of agents are now using only one side to market the property and saying it's just sold or just listed. And then on the other side, you'll see up on the screen, it's going to say thinking about selling, right? And we're using our marketing pieces as pre-listing appointments, right? Telling people why they should be giving us a call. Or even better yet, hey, just sold, right? And guess what? On the other side, saying, hey, do you want to know the value of your home? And driving them to our buy side valuation tool. So again, I think with looking at ways to generate more listings from your existing listings is taking even your marketing pieces that you're putting out to the public and making sure not only are you telling them that you just listed or just sold a listing, but hey, oh, by the way, are you thinking about buying or selling? And making sure there's a lead capture call to action on each and every one of those marketing pieces.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, keying in just on the marketing pieces, I'm hearing more and more, even, you know what, people are going out with masks, they're going out with gloves on, and they're just maybe even dropping things off. And it's amazing. People are out there, they're looking for information. They want to contact somebody to get their questions answered. So I'm going to tell you, it's busy, and I know you know this, but let me tell you, the activity's there to get it. We just got to go out there and get it. And I know we're in crazy times right now, as you've heard a zillion times, and that's okay. It all starts with the way we're thinking and then getting out to the marketplace in some way, shape, or form that's safe and interacting with the people that are out there.
But I mean, one thing I'll have to say, and just listening to our top agents, I remember listening to Ivan and even the Garrisons not too long ago talking about what they were doing when it came to marketing. And one of the things they did is they never stopped marketing. I mean, they were consistent. And at the end of the day, it's all about being consistent. And that consistency also allows you to communicate to your clients what's going on in the marketplace. And I think if I remember correctly, Carol Garrison said they actually upped the ante because they knew people were going to stop marketing and they weren't going to continue doing what we need to do to generate business. And so now, of course, they're all reaping the rewards because I have agents like Corinne Peterson that was just up on the screen that's doubling their business this year. Because again, they continued marketing very strategically and now they're again reaping the rewards. So again, you can easily leverage up your listings and get more business if you do it the right way.
Warren Buffett always said, while, just like in real estate, while everyone's selling, you should be buying. While everyone's buying, you should be selling. And the whole point of that is you hear someone who says, well, I'm so busy, I don't have to market right now. The reality of it is, what a great opportunity to market while everyone's not doing it anywhere near as often. So, no,
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any final comments, Maria? Anything else that you would like to share to help out all our viewers?
I think, again, like what Mark said, I know it could be a fire hose sometimes when it comes to marketing and looking at our tools and resources. Again, just take baby steps and, give marketing a call. The 1-800 number. We'll add it to this video a little bit later, and you know how to call and contact marketing. Just get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for today, Maria. Appreciate your time as always. Of course, as always, as well, if you can like and follow, I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you see value, please share this info with anyone and all. I appreciate everyone's time, and we will see you again next week on next Tuesday, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.